Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of our little weathering adventure. Alright, so now I got the undercarriage kind of fill-in thing. I talked about this in my review a little bit. Off camera, I did a little more cleaning up of the handrails, tried to hit all the spots I could, just get a relatively even paint coverage there. It's hard to do some of that on camera, but now I want to try a new technique. See how this works here. What we're going to do is I got a fresh micro brush here, and I've got some straight black here in the back as well as some water. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm just going to wet down this micro brush, and I'm just going to put some water in some random spots here. Kind of wet down the whole frame. And what we're going to try to do is, here's some 2-to-1. We'll try it with that to start with. Just going to see if we can get it to kind of flow. I don't know if you can quite see that on camera. If it would focus here, come on. You get a little more definition on the one side than you do the other. So that's all I'm really looking for here. Try some 10-to-1. Oh yeah, the 10-to-1 definitely flows better. Okay, so we'll do the 10-to-1 here. We're really doing this more like a wash. Just getting it to flow into all the low spots. And we're going to come back. We're going to let this set up a little bit here in just a minute. And we're going to wipe some of it out. Really want to get that up in there into those hoses and whatnot, whatever that happens to be. Anywhere that I think there's going to be a little more grime, kind of up in and around, the fill here, I'm using the 2-to-1, I think, just because it's a little bit thicker. It's going to set up a little bit, a little bit heavier up in here. Up in behind the fuel tanks, probably, usually just a little bit dirtier. Get some more of the 10-to-1, see if I can get it to flow back up in here. This might be a use case for a little more water. All right, definitely starting to get a little more definition in here. Clean off the fuel tank just a little bit. We got a little bit running around here. If you have an airbrush, or just go ahead and blow on it, it kind of forces the the fluid to move around in there a little bit, and that kind of helps with it. Now we're just going to go ahead and take a paper towel, and we're just going to start to clean up some of this here. And then, if you compare it side to side, there's a big difference in the depth you get. So yeah, that's totally what I was looking for. That worked really well. So we're gonna go ahead and do the other side with the air tanks now. And again, I do like how that water helped it flow. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wet down some of the deeper areas here. And we are just going to go ahead and start layering in some paint. And that to flow down in between that tank is rather difficult. Need a lot of it down in there. I'm going to immediately dab some of that up. I don't want that to get too excessive. These larger, flatter areas, I would tend to have my opinion be that the 2-to-1 generally fills them a little bit better than the 10-to-1. But if you want it to flow into the small recesses, the 10-to-1 definitely gets into those areas better. Okay, we're definitely getting some good depth again. So let's go ahead. Very nice. That really turned out nice. I love the way that looks. I do have to pick up some red paint at some point here to do the fill caps. I do not have any. I thought I did, but that'll probably have to be a couple weeks down the line, or maybe a fill-in video somewhere, because it'll be a little while before I can get to my local retailer. So now I got the trucks out here, and we are going to carefully do the same thing. Let's go ahead and grab... I don't want too much in here, so I guess we'll just experiment a little bit. Just kind of go around the wheel caps just a little bit here. I'm gonna have to go pretty thin, I think. Yeah, I wonder if I just need to lay it on thick and then come back and just dab it up a little bit. Yeah, definitely that's what we're gonna have to do. Let's zoom in a little bit on this. Give this a try. 2-to-1 seems to really be working better in this particular application. And when you are just washing like this, I don't know that it really much matters. Just trying to get a little bit of depth and dinge in a few small spots. I maybe overdid it on the wheel caps just a little bit. Some more gunk back in them. All right, not dirty by any means, just used. Yeah, you can really see the difference when you swap sides. So, all right, we'll continue with this side. We'll go ahead and hit the wheel caps again. A little heavier around these. On this side, I think. Adjustments here. Alright. I'm going to let that one dry for just a minute. I want some deep weathering. Also, as long as I got these out, if you have recently taken apart your Cato and you're struggling with reliability, every time I take these apart, you end up actually popping that off most of the time. And when you go to put it back together, there are tabs on either side of it there, as you can see. If they are not pushing up the pickups right there, a lot of times they can kind of be forcing them down. That is why you're having pickup issues. It's happened to me a few times in the past. Since I got these apart, it's worth pointing out. That be. I can apologize. I am very new to doing this type of stuff on camera, and it is rather difficult for me, so I am sorry. This is not my thing, but if you don't keep working at it, you never get better, so. Okay, we'll jump back to this side. There we are. We got decent depth on a lot of stuff. I want a little more in my chains right here. Messed up this side. There we are. do want to hit my chains. Alrighty, I think that's probably good for today. I think we're making some decent progress. Let's grab one of these. It's got some dry time on it, and just add a little bit more to our chains again. And again, we're going for subtle. We don't want these things to look super dingy, so just trying to add a little depth, and I think we got her there. So I think that's it for today. We'll come back next week. We're gonna get this thing put back together, and we'll do a little bit of the finishing touch type stuff. So yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye now.